You know, probably one of the things that's almost as hard as learning to ride a snowmobile well is learning how to teach people to ride well, like to explain it all. So here goes my effort on it. You know how on a bicycle, if you want to turn right, what you do is first you steer left a little bit, and then as the bike turns that way, your momentum carries you, you start to fall over, and then you steer right, and it carries you back around. Well, that first thing that gets you tipped over is called a countersteer. And when you're in powder on the snowmobile, that's how you steer. If you're on packed road, you can maybe just steer like a car, and the car rides on the skis, kind of grab and steer you around, unless you need to turn really fast. So the countersteer on the snowmobile is similar, but for a different reason. So let's say you want to turn right, and so you're going to countersteer, right? You're going to lean right and turn left. But it's not so much like with the bicycle where snowmobile's going this way and you're going this way and you fall over. Rather, think of the skids as levers. That's what tips you over, because that's how you turn a snowmobile, is you tip it on its side. That's what makes it steer around. So if I want to turn right, if I turn my skis right, well, I got this lever right there that's pushing me over the other way. So I turn my skis left, and now that lever is lifting up the left side, and that's what allows the sled to steer toward the right. So that's the basic concept. And you'll notice, like, as we ride, like, there are other ways to help steer as well. And one of the major ones is your weight. Probably the major one, along with countersteering. And so you'll notice that if we want to go right, we'll stand on the left side of the sled, or on the right side of the sled. And that weights it, and then it also makes it easier to countersteer, and in combination, those work. And so this is position one, straddling it. And unless you're just cruising down the road, you're pretty much standing up where you have a lot more control. And then standing like this is position two. And if you want even more weight, you hang a foot out here like this. And that's really nice, because sometimes, like, come along here under the powder, I'm in old tracks, and so it grabs and bounces a little bit. Well, if you have a foot out here, it's really easy to do fine-tune adjustments like that. Try not to, like, run and paddle too much, because if that gets behind you, you can kind of drag you off. But you can do that sometimes as well. And then the third thing that helps you steer is the throttle and the brake. So let's say I'm starting into a turn, and all of a sudden there's a tree, and I need to turn really fast. Well, I'm going to lean, I'm going to countersteer hard, and I'm going to blip the throttle, because that really pushes the sled into that turn and gets you to turn fast. If I'm falling over too much, a lot of best riders, they're going to ride with one finger on the brake all the time. You hit that, and it kind of picks you back up, just like on a bike or a motorcycle. So other than that, I mean, like, think through the concepts, go get some experience. If you got some nice deep powder with not too much surface underneath, that's really helpful, because the countersteering just happens like automatically, and just play back and forth with it. Because it is counterintuitive, but you get used to it eventually to where it becomes intuitive, and that's when it gets really fun. So I hope that's a helpful explanation. I hope you can hear me over this. And now back to riding on this beautiful March day.